Have you ever sat down to check your blood pressure, thinking it would be just another ordinary reading, only to see a number like 170 over 100 blinking back at you? In that split second, it's as if the world narrows. Your breath catches, your palms go cold, and a single terrifying thought rushes in. Is this it? Am I about to have a stroke? It's a moment so many people over 60 have faced a sudden wave of dizziness, a pounding headache maybe, even some confusion, followed by a frantic grab for the nearest blood pressure monitor. And when that number flashes red, we often jump to the worst conclusion. Some rush to the emergency room, others call their children in a panic. Some quietly fear the worst and say nothing at all. But what if I told you that not every high blood pressure reading means you're in immediate danger? What if the number 170 isn't always an emergency, but a message that needs understanding, not fear? Today we're going to change the way you see those numbers. Because here's the truth, most doctors don't have time to explain. One high reading doesn't mean your heart is failing, but it could mean you're measuring at the wrong time, in the wrong way, or reacting to something temporary that has nothing to do with long-term disease. We'll uncover what your blood pressure is really telling you and when you should stay calm versus when it's time to act. You'll learn how to measure your blood pressure at home the right way, when a high reading is a real medical emergency, and 5 small habits that can help lower your numbers naturally without living in fear or depending entirely on medication. But before we go any further, if you've ever felt that quiet anxiety, that uncertain what's happening to my body feeling, then please stay with us, because this episode might just change the way you protect your heart for the rest of your life. Subscribe to Senior Fit, where growing older doesn't mean growing weaker. It means growing wiser, stronger, and more in control of your health. Let's begin this journey not with panic, but with clarity, understanding, and a sense of calm strength you can carry forward. Blood pressure. 2 simple words that carry a world of fear, confusion, and uncertainty, especially after 60. But before we can control it, we need to understand it. Let me paint a picture for you. Inside your body runs a vast network of blood vessels, arteries, like quiet highways, delivering oxygen and nutrients to every cell, every heartbeat, keeping you alive. Now imagine these arteries as garden hoses. Every time your heart beats, it pumps blood into these hoses, causing a wave of pressure to travel through them. That surge, it's called systolic pressure. The top number on your reading. It shows how hard your heart works to push blood through your body. Between beats, your heart relaxes. That moment of calm is your diastolic pressure, the bottom number. It reflects how much pressure remains in your arteries when your heart is resting. You've probably seen a number like 125 over 2. Sounds fine, right? But what do these numbers really mean? According to medical guidelines, a normal blood pressure is anything under 120/80. If your systolic is consistently over 140 or your diastolic over 90, you may be diagnosed with hypertension. Even readings starting around 130/80, especially in older adults, are worth watching. But here's the part that most people miss. Your blood pressure isn't a fixed number. It dances with your life. When you climb the stairs, feel stressed, sip a cup of strong coffee, or even walk into the doctor's office with nervousness in your chest. Your numbers can and will rise temporarily. And that's not a failure. It's your body responding, doing its job. The real concern is not the momentary spike, but whether your pressure stays high even when you're resting, even when you're calm, sitting and breathing slow. That's what we need to measure. That's what reveals the truth. Let's make this personal. Imagine you've just taken a walk. You sit down slightly out of breath and strap on your home monitor. The numbers pop up 142 over 90. You panic. But hold on, that's a normal response to activity, not a heart attack. In fact, regular physical activity over time lowers your resting blood pressure. This is where many people go wrong. They measure at the wrong time, they see one high number, and suddenly they believe they're broken. Some rush to the ER, some demand medications. Some simply live in fear, not knowing what's real and what's just noise. But you don't have to, because now you're learning how to listen to your body differently, to understand the difference between a snapshot and the full story. Coming up, we'll walk through the exact steps you need to take a proper home reading so you can stop second-guessing and start tracking your health with confidence. Your heart deserves that peace of mind, and so do you. Now that we've unpacked what blood pressure really is, let's talk about something just as important: how you measure it. Because here's the truth: even the most accurate monitor in the world can give you a false reading if you're not using it the right way. And sadly, many seniors are unknowingly making these exact mistakes every single day. Mistakes that lead to fear, confusion, even unnecessary medication. So let me walk you through the 7 most common blood pressure mistakes and show you how to fix them starting today. Mistake number 1: measuring over clothing. It seems small, doesn't it? Just wrapping the cuff over your sleeve. But fabric, especially thick sweaters or long sleeves, can create resistance. That small barrier between the cuff and your skin can throw off the numbers, often reading higher than your actual pressure. Fix: always place the cuff on a bare arm. If you're wearing long sleeves, roll them up or remove them completely. Skin-to-skin contact matters. Mistake 2: wrong cuff placement. The placement of the cuff isn't just about comfort. It's about accuracy. Too low or too high on the arm, too tight or too loose, and your reading becomes unreliable. Fix: the cuff should sit about 2 finger widths above your elbow, with the tube running along the inside of your arm, right where the artery lies. It should be snug but not squeezing. Think firm handshake, not wrestling match. Mistake number 3: poor posture. Are you slouched on the couch? Legs crossed, arm dangling off the table. These small things matter. Your blood pressure changes based on your body's position. Fix: sit in a chair with your back-supported feet flat on the floor and your arm resting at heart level on a table or pillow. No crossed legs, no slumping forward. You're not just measuring your pressure, you're setting the stage for accuracy. Mistake number 4: talking, moving, or fidgeting. Even whispering during a measurement can cause a spike. Yes, talking can raise your blood pressure while measuring it. So can moving, laughing, or even thinking too intensely. Fix: it quietly for 3 to 5 minutes before measuring. Breathe slowly. Relax. Don't speak. Let your heart settle before pressing start. Mistake 5: measuring right after activity or stress. Let's say you just walked up the stairs, had an argument, or drank a strong cup of coffee. If you take your pressure in that moment, of course it's going to be high. Your body is still in alert mode. Fix: wait at least 30 minutes after eating, drinking caffeine, smoking, or exercising. Give your body time to return to baseline. Mistake number 6: using a wrist monitor. I know they're convenient, portable, easy to strap on, but most wrist monitors are not reliable. Your wrist arteries are smaller and more prone to movement, which makes readings less consistent. Fix: use an upper arm monitor that's been validated by a trusted organization like the American Heart Association. If you're unsure, look up your model online to see if it's been tested and approved. Mistake number 7: measuring too often. Once we get anxious about our numbers, it's tempting to check them constantly, sometimes 3 to 4, even 10 times a day. But here's the paradox: the more you check, the higher your anxiety, and often the higher your blood pressure. Stick to a routine. Take 2 readings in the morning before eating or taking medication and 2 readings at night before bed. Record the average and do this for at least 5 to 7 days before sharing the results with your doctor. This gives a much clearer picture than random panicked checks. When you learn to measure your blood pressure correctly, you reclaim something that many people lose with age. Confidence in your own body, because now the numbers don't scare you. They speak to you clearly, calmly, truthfully. Coming up, we'll explore a different question. When is high blood pressure actually dangerous? And when is it just a false alarm? We'll uncover the red flag symptoms you should never ignore and how to know in your gut when it's time to stay calm or take action. You've learned how to measure blood pressure the right way. You've corrected the common mistakes. But one question still lingers in the back of every senior's mind. When should I really worry? If this is helping you feel more confident already, don't forget to subscribe. We've got more life-changing tips just ahead. Let's be honest, most people don't fear the numbers. They fear what the numbers might mean. Because when you see something like 180 over 110, your first instinct might be to grab your keys and rush to the ER. And sometimes, that instinct is right, but not always. Let me give you something powerful to remember. It's not just the numbers that matter. It's the symptoms that walk beside them. So let's break it down. When does a high blood pressure reading truly signal a hypertensive crisis, something that demands immediate medical attention? Here are the warning signs you must never ignore. Chest pain or tightness, shortness of breath, blurred or double vision, severe sudden headache, confusion, slurred speech or difficulty understanding, numbness or weakness especially on one side of the body, loss of balance or difficulty walking. If your blood pressure is above 180 systolic or above 120 diastolic, and you experience even one of these symptoms, you must call emergency services immediately. Don't wait. Don't guess. This could be your body warning you of a stroke, heart attack, or damage to vital organs like your kidneys or brain. Time is everything in those moments. But what if you feel fine? Here's where many people overreact. Let's say you check your blood pressure and it reads 170/95. You're not dizzy. You're not short of breath. You feel okay. What should you do? Stay calm, sit down, wait 5 minutes, then measure again. You see, blood pressure can spike temporarily due to a stressful phone call, climbing stairs, drinking coffee, talking during the reading, even just being nervous about your health. These transient spikes are normal. They are your body's way of responding to life. They are not emergencies unless symptoms accompany them. Let's say after sitting quietly you measure again. Now it's 152/88. Still high, yes, but now you know. It's not a crisis. It's a conversation. A conversation with your body, a signal that something might need to change. Now, let me introduce a concept that affects millions without them even knowing. White coat hypertension. This happens when your blood pressure rises. Not because your body is in danger, but because you're in a medical setting feeling anxious, tense, or watched. Some seniors see numbers shoot up only at the clinic, but return to normal once they're home. That's not false. That's emotional physiology, your heart reacting to fear. This is why home monitoring done correctly and calmly is so powerful. It gives you clarity. It strips away the noise. It shows your true baseline, not the number influenced by nerves or fluorescent lights. So remember this: high numbers without symptoms. Pause, breathe, recheck, track. High numbers with symptoms. Act quickly. Don't wait. It's not about panic. It's about power. The power to know what your body is really saying. You are not fragile. You are capable. And every time you learn something new about your health, you add another tool to your belt. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into the hidden causes of chronically high blood pressure and one silent enemy that's probably sitting on your dinner plate right now: sodium. Let's explore what it's really doing to your arteries and how a few small changes in your kitchen can bring lasting relief to your heart. You may not see it, you may not taste it, but every day, in tiny amounts, it slips into your body, quietly tightening your blood vessels, silently raising your pressure, drop by drop. Its name: sodium. Now, sodium isn't evil. In fact, your body needs it for nerve function, for muscle contraction, for fluid balance. But like anything powerful, too much becomes poison. And for millions of older adults, that poison doesn't come from a salt shaker. It comes from the foods we trust. Let's take a look inside a typical pantry. You might find a can of soup healthy on the label, a frozen meal low-calorie but packed with preservatives, a cube of bouillon for flavor, sliced deli turkey or ham, a bag of chips or crackers, or even whole-grain bread. Now here's the shocker. A single bouillon cube can contain over 1,500 milligrams of sodium. That's 60% of your entire daily limit in one little square. And when you combine it with cheese, lunch meat sauces, or that restaurant meal you love, you could easily double or triple your recommended sodium intake without even realizing it. So what's the safe zone? The American Heart Association recommends no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day for most adults, and ideally under 1,500 milligrams if you already have high blood pressure. Just 1 teaspoon of table salt holds about 200-300 milligrams. That means many seniors are walking around every day with vessels under constant pressure, not from stress, not from genetics, but from salt. Here's the better news. Reducing sodium is one of the fastest ways to lower your blood pressure naturally. You don't need pills, you need awareness. Let's talk strategy. Instead of reaching for the salt shaker or relying on pre-packaged flavor bombs, try these Heart Smart swaps. Lemon juice for brightness, fresh herbs like basil, thyme, or rosemary, garlic for depth, vinegar for sharpness, chili flakes or black pepper for kick. These don't just reduce your sodium intake, they awaken your taste buds in a different way, healthier, more alive, more satisfying. And if you do use salt, measure it, don't guess. Use no more than half a teaspoon a day and make it count. Now a quick word on specialty salts like Himalayan pink salt, sea salt, or gourmet blends. They may sound cleaner, more exotic, even healthier. But let's be honest, they're all still sodium chloride. Yes, they may contain trace minerals, magnesium, potassium, even iron, but in tiny amounts. Not enough to cancel out the blood pressure impact. Bottom line, they're still salt. Use them carefully, use them sparingly, but don't be fooled. Here's the secret weapon many seniors overlook: potassium. If sodium is the accelerator, potassium is the brake. It relaxes blood vessels, helps flush out excess sodium, and balances fluid levels. And the best part, it's not in a pill. It's in your kitchen. Try these potassium-rich foods: bananas, sweet potato, spinach, avocados, white beans, low-fat yogurt. Each bite isn't just nutrition, it's therapy for your arteries. So imagine this. You're making a meal. You reach for a clove of garlic instead of a salt cube. You roast sweet potatoes instead of grabbing fries. You flavor your soup with fresh herbs and a squeeze of lemon. That simple swap could mean 20 fewer points on your blood pressure over time. Not overnight, but over weeks, months, a lifetime. Small change, big shift, not just in your numbers, but in how your heart feels. Next, we'll go even further, because beyond sodium and potassium, there are daily routines just a few minutes long that can reset your pressure and change your health forever. Coming up, how 7 minutes a day can help you sleep better, Breathe deeper and lower your blood pressure without medication. What if I told you that just 7 minutes a day could help you lower your blood pressure, sleep better, breathe easier, and give your heart the calm it's been longing for? It doesn't take a gym membership. It doesn't require a radical diet. It simply asks for a few quiet, intentional moments just for you. Let me show you how small acts layered together can transform not only your blood pressure, but your entire sense of well-being. 1. Hydration, the simplest medicine. You're forgetting your blood is 90% water. When you're dehydrated, your blood gets thicker, your vessels tighten, and your heart has to work harder to push it all through. This raises your blood pressure quietly, steadily over time. Fix: start your day with a tall glass of water. Keep a water bottle nearby. Sip throughout the day, not just when you're thirsty. Aim for 6 to 8 cups more if you're active or it's hot out. It's not just water, it's circulatory peace. 2. Deep breathing, 4 seconds to lower stress. Stress squeezes your arteries, but breath opens them. Here's a technique I teach my patients. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold that breath for 4 seconds. Exhale gently through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat for 5 minutes. That's it. In just 5 minutes, your nervous system shifts from fight or flight to rest and restore. Do it in bed. Do it in your favorite chair. Do it while listening to soft music or sitting by the window. Let your breath be the reset button. 3. Go for a 10-minute walk after meals. When you move, your blood vessels stretch. Your muscles pull blood toward them, away from the center of pressure. Walking after a meal also improves digestion and helps prevent blood sugar spikes, which, by the way, also affect blood pressure. Just 10 minutes around your house, down the block. No need for speed, just rhythm. And if you can't walk, try marching in place or doing gentle stretches. Any movement helps. 4. Establish a sleep routine. Same time every night. Your heart loves rhythm. When you stay up late one night and wake early the next, your body's internal clock gets confused. This affects hormones like cortisol, which can cause pressure to rise. Fix: set a bedtime and stick to it even on weekends. Turn off screens an hour before. Dim the lights. Make your bedroom cool, quiet, and dark. If you struggle with sleep, try calming rituals. Warm shower, herbal tea, deep breathing, soft instrumental music. Give your body permission to rest deeply and completely. 5. Cut down caffeine. If you're sensitive, caffeine affects people differently. Some drink coffee and feel energized. Others feel jittery, anxious, or their heart races. If you notice spikes in your pressure after coffee or energy drinks, it might be time to scale back. Try decaf options, herbal tea, golden milk, turmeric, warm milk, sparkling water with lemon. It's not about giving up joy. It's about finding new sources of peace. 6. Protect your mind from screens alerts and news overload. Stress isn't always loud. Sometimes it comes in whispers, headlines, emails, text notifications. Constant stimulation. That mental buzz keeps stress hormones high and your pressure along with it. Set boundaries. No screens during meals. 1 hour tech-free before bed. Check the news once, not all day. Choose books, gardening, puzzles, music, or nature instead. Your mind deserves rest too. 7. Build in moments of joy and stillness. It sounds simple, too simple. But taking a moment to sit in sunlight, pet a dog, listen to a grandchild laugh, or just close your eyes and smile. These moments release feel-good chemicals like serotonin and dopamine. They counteract stress. They open your vessels, not close them. Your blood pressure responds to these emotional shifts, not just food and fitness. So ask yourself, what brings you joy? What makes your shoulders drop? Your breath slow, your smile return. Do more of that. Even just 1 moment a day, that's your medicine. So now let's put it all together. You've learned how blood pressure works, how to measure it accurately, what numbers to watch for, what to do in an emergency, and what not to fear, the dangers of hidden sodium, and how a few daily rituals can turn pressure into peace. You have the tools, you have the understanding. Now it's time for action, not perfection, just progress. Start with one habit, 1 glass of water, 1 deep breath, 1 walk around the living room. And if you have been feeling this too, not sickness, but a quiet question rising inside you. Can I take control of my health again? Then let me answer for you. Yes, you can, and it starts today. Subscribe to Senior Fit, where growing older doesn't mean growing weaker. It means growing smarter, stronger, and still moving forward.